There's a forgotten code written into your birth year, a number so small yet so powerful, it may hold the key to your soul's past. The final digit of your birth year isn't just coincidence. It carries the ancient imprint of your past life, the battles you face, the wisdom you carry, and the purpose your spirit still remembers. Tied deeply to spiritual teachings and sacred numerology, this single number may reveal whether you were once a healer, a seeker, a guide, or a warrior of light. Ancient Christology and Eastern teachings say your soul has traveled far, carrying karma, memory, and lessons into this life. Today, we decode that hidden message. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll unlock a truth buried within your timeline, and you'll never see your birth year the same way again. The silent observer. If your birth year ends with a 0, your past life was likely that of a silent observer, someone who valued wisdom and detachment above all. In Christology teachings, the number 0 represents emptiness, potential, and the void that connects all existence. Your soul may have lived as a monk, sage, or scholar who sought enlightenment by withdrawing from worldly distractions. In that past existence, you probably spent long hours in meditation, observing life without attachment or judgment. This life was about learning the art of mindfulness and inner peace, witnessing the cycles of suffering and joy without becoming entangled. You were the calm in the storm, a still point in a chaotic world, embodying the principle of non-attachment. This life's lessons focused on understanding impermanence and the nature of suffering, dukkha. You learn that clinging to desires or fears only deepens pain, and through letting go, true freedom arises. Your current life may find you naturally drawn to solitude, spiritual study, or helping others find calm amid their struggles. However, the challenge for you now is to balance detachment with engagement. In this lifetime, you might struggle with feeling disconnected or emotionally distant from others. Your past life's quiet observation gifted you wisdom, but now you are called to act compassionately in the world, to bring that inner peace outward. By embracing the energy of 0, you can heal any lingering isolation and become a beacon of calm strength. The void is not emptiness to fear, but fertile ground for new beginnings. Your spiritual path invites you to embody both stillness and loving connection, bridging the seen and unseen worlds. The courageous leader. If the last digit of your birth year is 1, your past life was marked by leadership, initiative, and pioneering spirit. In Christology, numerology, the number 1 symbolizes beginnings, independence, and the self's power to create change. Your soul likely walked a path of courage, standing strong in the face of adversity and inspiring others to follow. In your previous existence, you might have been a warrior, king, or spiritual teacher, someone who took charge and set new directions for their community or followers. You were a trailblazer, not afraid to break traditions or forge new paths in pursuit of truth and justice. Your life was about asserting your will while learning to balance ego with humility. The key lesson from that past life was mastering self-confidence and responsibility. You learned that true power comes not from domination, but from service and vision. This experience prepared your soul to take bold steps in this life, but also to understand the importance of patience and listening. Now, you may find yourself naturally driven to lead or innovate, but you might also wrestle with impatience or a need to control outcomes. The challenge for you is to soften your strong will with compassion, and to recognize that sometimes the greatest leadership is found in quiet influence rather than loud command. Embrace your past life as a courageous leader, but allow your current journey to teach you the Christology virtue of loving kindness, metta. When you lead with both strength and heart, you become a powerful force for positive transformation, inspiring others not just by what you do, but by the integrity and wisdom you embody. The compassionate healer. If your birth year ends with the number 2, your past life was deeply connected to compassion, healing, and nurturing others. In Christology wisdom, the number 2 symbolizes duality, balance, and partnership, reflecting your soul's journey in forming meaningful connections and offering care to those in need. In your previous life, you may have been a healer, caregiver, or spiritual guide who dedicated themselves to alleviating suffering and restoring harmony. You were likely someone who understood the importance of empathy, listening with an open heart, and providing comfort without judgment. Your path was about embracing vulnerability and learning the power of gentle strength. The lessons from that life involved mastering patience and selflessness. You discovered that true healing comes not just from physical remedies, but from emotional and spiritual support. This experience cultivated a deep sense of service and an ability to bridge divides between people, fostering peace and understanding. In this lifetime, you might naturally gravitate toward roles that involve nurturing others, whether as a counselor, teacher, or simply a friend who offers support in difficult times. However, your challenge is to avoid losing yourself in the needs of others. Christology teachings remind you to practice compassion for yourself as much as for those around you, maintaining balance and boundaries. Your soul's wisdom urges you to embrace your gift of healing while remembering that your own well-being is essential. By cultivating self-care and mindfulness, you transform your compassionate nature into a source of inspiration and strength for everyone you encounter. The wise seeker. If your birth year ends with the digit 3, your past life was marked by a deep thirst for knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual growth. In Christology teachings, the number 3 often represents the 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma teachings, and the Sangha community, highlighting your soul's strong connection to the path of enlightenment. In your previous existence, you were likely a scholar, monk, or seeker who devoted your life to understanding the mysteries of existence. You spent countless hours studying sacred texts, meditating, and engaging in practices designed to awaken insight. Your journey was focused on inner transformation and discovering the ultimate truth beyond the illusions of the material world. The lessons from that past life centered on patience and discernment. You learned the importance of balancing intellectual knowledge with experiential wisdom, realizing that true understanding arises not only from books, but from direct experience and compassion. You may have faced challenges of doubt and confusion, but ultimately found clarity by persevering on your spiritual path. In this lifetime, you might feel naturally drawn to philosophy, meditation, or teaching. Your mind is curious and your soul craves meaning beyond everyday distractions. However, your challenge is to avoid overthinking or becoming trapped in abstract ideas without applying them practically. Christology wisdom encourages you to embody your knowledge through loving action. By integrating your intellectual gifts with compassion and mindfulness, you continue the work of your past life, bringing light and understanding to yourself and others. Your quest for wisdom is not just a personal journey, but a beacon guiding many toward peace and awakening. The creative visionary. If the last digit of your birth year is 4, your past life was one of creativity, stability, and building foundations that last. In Christology numerology, the number 4 symbolizes structure, practicality, and earth energy, qualities that reflect your soul's role as a visionary who transforms ideas into reality with patience and dedication. In your previous life, you may have been an artist, architect, craftsman, or community leader who focused on creating beauty, order, and lasting contributions. You understood the value of persistence and discipline, working steadily toward your goals while balancing imagination with practicality. Your journey was about manifesting your visions into tangible forms that served others. The lessons from that life involved learning the importance of patience, hard work, and responsibility. You discovered that true creativity is not only inspired flashes, but sustained effort and commitment. Challenges likely came from resisting change or clinging too tightly to control, teaching you the Christology principle of impermanence, that all things evolve. In this lifetime, you might feel naturally drawn to careers or hobbies that involve creating, organizing, or nurturing growth. Your grounded nature makes you reliable and trustworthy, yet your challenge is to remain flexible and open to new possibilities rather than becoming stuck in rigid routines or old patterns. Embracing the energy of 4 invites you to build not only physical structures, but also inner strength and resilience. Your soul's past life as a creative visionary guides you to bring harmony and beauty into the world while practicing mindfulness and embracing change as part of life's natural flow. 5. The fearless adventurer. If your birth year ends with the number 5, your past life was one filled with adventure, freedom, and a quest for new experiences. In Christology symbolism, the number 5 represents change, movement, and the 5 senses, all pointing to a soul that embraced the dynamic and unpredictable aspects of life. In your previous existence, you were likely a traveler, explorer, or rebel who sought to break free from limitations and discover the world's vastness. You craved excitement and variety, often pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. Your journey was about learning through experience and embracing the unknown with courage. The lessons from that life involved understanding impermanence and non-attachment. You discovered that true freedom does not come from external adventures alone, but from inner liberation, freeing yourself from fears, desires, and clinging. This soul lesson prepared you to face change with grace and resilience. In your current life, you may feel restless or drawn to new challenges, careers, or relationships that promise growth and novelty. However, your challenge is to balance your love for freedom with stability and commitment. Christology teachings encourage you to cultivate mindfulness so that your actions arise from wisdom rather than impulse. By honoring your adventurous spirit while grounding yourself in presence and compassion, you continue your soul's journey of liberation. Your past life as a fearless adventurer inspires you to embrace life's flow without attachment, transforming change into a path toward awakening. 6. The spiritual guardian. If your birth year ends with the number 6, your past life was deeply connected to protecting, nurturing, and serving others with a strong sense of duty. In Christology numerology, the number 6 signifies harmony, responsibility, and compassion, reflecting your soul's role as a guardian and caretaker. In that past life, you may have been a protector, such as a community leader, healer, or spiritual guide who ensured the well-being and balance of those around you. Your life was centered on fostering peace and security, using both wisdom and strength to shield others from harm. You were deeply committed to maintaining harmony, often putting others' needs before your own. The lessons from that life focused on selflessness and balance. You learned that caring for others is a noble path, but that it is also essential to care for yourself to avoid burnout or resentment. This experience taught you about interdependence, the Christology understanding that all beings are connected and that true compassion includes both giving and receiving. In this lifetime, you may find yourself naturally drawn to roles that involve nurturing, counseling, or leadership. However, your challenge is to maintain healthy boundaries and to remember that your well-being is as important as the well-being of those you serve. You are encouraged to practice loving kindness, metta, towards yourself as well as others. Embracing the energy of 6 invites you to be a harmonious force in your community and relationships, continuing your soul's mission to protect and uplift. Your past life as a spiritual guardian empowers you to foster peace and healing while growing in wisdom and compassion. 7. The intuitive mystic. If the last digit of your birth year is 7, your past life was steeped in mystery, intuition, and spiritual insight. In Christology symbolism, the number 7 is often linked to wisdom, inner knowing, and the quest for enlightenment, highlighting your soul's deep connection to the unseen realms. In that past existence, you may have been a mystic, seer, or spiritual practitioner who explored the hidden dimensions of reality. You likely spent time in meditation, contemplation, or ritual practices that expanded your consciousness beyond the material world. Your life was about uncovering truths that lie beneath the surface and guiding others with your profound insight. The lessons from that life revolved around trust and surrender. You learned to listen to your inner voice and to let go of the need for external validation or control. This experience helped you develop a deep sense of faith in the unfolding of life and the impermanence of all things. In this lifetime, you may feel naturally drawn to spirituality, meditation, or any practice that deepens your connection with your intuition. However, your challenge can be withdrawing too much from the physical world or feeling misunderstood by others. Christology teachings encourage you to balance your mystical nature with grounded compassion and active engagement. By embracing the energy of 7, you continue your soul's journey as an intuitive mystic, a bridge between the visible and invisible. Your past life gifts you with wisdom that can inspire and uplift, inviting you to live with openness, curiosity, and deep inner peace. The resilient warrior. If your birth year ends with the number 8, your past life was one of strength, resilience, and mastery over challenges. In Christology, numerology, 8 symbolizes balance, karma, and the path to enlightenment, especially reflecting the noble eightfold path, which guides practitioners toward liberation through right understanding and action. In your previous existence, you were likely a warrior, leader, or protector who faced great trials and hardships. You learned how to overcome obstacles with determination and courage, developing inner strength through perseverance. Your soul's journey was about transforming suffering into wisdom and using your power responsibly. The lessons from that life involved understanding karma, the law of cause and effect, and practicing mindfulness in every action. You discovered that true strength comes not from domination or force, but from compassion, integrity, and balance. Challenges tested your character and taught you the importance of ethical living. In this lifetime, you may naturally gravitate toward roles that require leadership, discipline, or problem solving. Yet your challenge lies in tempering ambition with humility and avoiding attachment to material success or ego-driven desires. Christology wisdom invites you to walk the middle path, embracing both strength and compassion. By embodying the resilient warrior energy, you continue your soul's evolution toward enlightenment. Your past life's trials have prepared you to face life's struggles with grace and courage, turning every challenge into an opportunity for growth and awakening. The enlightened teacher. If the last digit of your birth year is 9, your past life was dedicated to teaching, guiding, and uplifting others on their spiritual journey. In Christology symbolism, the number 9 represents completion, compassion, and spiritual fulfillment, qualities that reflect your soul's role as a wise mentor and beacon of light. In your previous existence, you likely served as a teacher, monk, or spiritual leader who shared deep wisdom and inspired transformation. Your life's purpose was to help others awaken to their true nature and overcome suffering through compassion and insight. You embrace the responsibility of guiding many on the path to enlightenment. The lessons from that life focused on selflessness and universal love. You learn that true teaching comes from living authentically and embodying the principles you share. This soul journey encouraged you to develop patience, humility, and a heart wide enough to hold the pain and joy of all beings. In this lifetime, you might feel drawn to roles that involve mentorship, counseling, or community leadership. However, your challenge is to avoid taking on too much responsibility or becoming attached to the approval of others. Christology teachings remind you to practice equanimity and self-care, recognizing your own needs while serving others. Embracing the energy of 9 calls you to continue your soul's mission as an enlightened teacher. Your past life gifts you with profound wisdom and compassion, empowering you to light the way for others, while walking your unique path with grace and authenticity. Conclusion. Embracing your soul's journey through numbers. The last digit of your birth year offers a fascinating glimpse into your past life story, a unique chapter in the endless cycle of samsara, rooted in ancient Christology, wisdom, and numerology. These insights reveal the spiritual lessons, strengths, and challenges your soul has carried across lifetimes. Whether you were a silent observer, courageous leader, compassionate healer, or enlightened teacher, understanding this hidden aspect of yourself can deepen your self-awareness and guide your growth in the present. These descriptions are not fixed labels, but invitations to explore your inner world with curiosity and compassion. Your past life's energy influences your tendencies, relationships, and purpose, but it does not define your destiny. With mindfulness and intention, you can heal past burdens, embrace your gifts, and cultivate the qualities needed for awakening. By reflecting on these ancient teachings, you open a doorway to transformation. You learn to honor the wisdom of your soul's journey while stepping fully into the life you are creating now.